Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ESEA Invite Season 26, covered on Team Fortress TV. My name is Cornpop, and I'm joined tonight by Sandblast, my co-caster, and Console on production. Sandblast, two teams we got facing off tonight. It's a doubleheader. We're following SVIFT NA as they take on Versus Velocity, and then it's coming up against Froyotech. First match here, why don't we run over the rosters, and then we can talk about this one, because I think this one's probably a bit better than the next one's going to be, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, for the roster for SVIFT and A here, they actually just swapped out Tiger for Marmaduke Grills, so they actually just made a recent swap. So now Slimnish and High Five are the scouts, Marmaduke playing Pocket, Garbuglio playing Rover, Delpo on Demo, 404 on Medic.
Velocity eSports, they've been a pretty consistent team for a while now. Their roster is, of course, Shamu and Knuckles on Scout. Marmaloo is their roaming soldier. Kryptonite is their pocket. Jared is a demo man, and Bear is up for medic. So, some high-level teams we've got, Sandblast. These are all probably top 4 teams. They're all looking to make playoffs. Swifts are currently sitting second in the seeding. Velocity are 4th. But seedings don't mean everything. What do you think about this match? Do you think it's going to be super close? Do you think we're going to have a obvious winner?
I mean, I feel like Velocity plays this map very, very well, but for Swift and A, I feel like they're gonna have a lot more aggression coming out. Velocity plays pretty passive on this map, from what I've seen from them. So I feel like Swift and A is pretty much just going to kind of roll over them as fast as possible on mids. I feel like they're going to play extremely aggressive. They're going to send both their soldiers immediately. Well, Slumdish is just glued to the medic, and nothing is going to happen to him.
Yeah, from the looks of things, it looks like we are switching servers, so we will be getting in the game just shortly here, but it's going to take a little while for everybody to get readjusted. But we can continue talking about these teams. You mentioned the roster switch up. I do want to talk about that because obviously before it was kind of an interesting situation. Tiger was playing for SVIFT NA and SVIFT EU, I believe. He was like the first non-North American player in a long time to play in ESEA. Now he's gone, of course. Getting up at 4 in the morning kind of hurts, but it was Tiger. Do you think this is a positive switch or a negative switch for them? Marmaduke Grill is a very good player, but Tiger was as well. But the 4 AM switch, what's your opinion?
I mean, I feel like Tiger is probably, with the time that he played ESEA, he's probably, again, one of the best scouts in Invite, in my opinion, has some of the best DM. But unfortunately, not being able to show up at 4 AM, which obviously makes sense. They're able to put High Five back on his main and then Marmaduke back on Pocket, which I honestly think it's a side grade for the roster just because Marmaduke plays a much better Pocket than High Five, in my opinion. And High Five back on a class he's more comfortable with. It'll probably make sure the team plays a lot better. I feel like everyone's going to mesh into their roles better. High Five is no stranger to playing Pocket or any other class in TF2. He's very well seasoned in Invite. But I feel like now that he's able to play his actual man, the class he's been practicing with for the past couple years mainly, I feel like this is going to help out Swift a little bit.
Yeah, I agree entirely. I think Tiger was the better scout. I don't know how much, like, when you factor in ping, maybe he wasn't. But certainly with switching High Five back to scout and Marmaduke on Pocket is a beast. So yeah, it's tough to say. I think they will play well. How would you say for their overall presence? Because obviously in TF2 North America, it's always kind of Froyo Ascent 1 and 2. This season Ascent's had some troubles, and I know they're not in the match tonight, but I still want to talk about it because they lost 2 important players on their roster. Corsa went down, and then Rando also left the team. They got Patty and Showstopper in response. I'm going to go ahead and say that New Ascent is worse than Old Ascent. Do you think they're bad
100%.
enough to go down a few places? Think they're going to lose their 2nd place title?
I mean, honestly, if any team is going to be able to do it, it's Swift or Velocity are going to be the best teams to upset Ascent with when it comes to if Swift can actually take this match tonight, again, at least win one of their matches tonight. If they can take Velocity, that'll probably knock. They're still going to be 4th seed, but that'll help out Swift a lot. That'll keep them at least 8 and 3 after tonight. If they when they play the Froyotech match, but if they can somehow squeeze a win off Froyo and go 9 and 2, that's probably going to honestly keep Ascent all the way down, maybe to like 3rd seed, and might keep them there just because they did lose some crucial matches, obviously, to Velocity, And I think they also lost to Froyo. I think they've already played, and they've played on Granary, and they got 5-0 by Froyo. So yeah, Ascent's gonna have they're gonna need their matches this week depending on who they face. But if Velocity can take a convincing 5-1 on Metalworks, I'm sure they can do it on another map as well, depending on how playoffs roll around. I heard it's also a new pick and ban system for playoffs this season. I think they're introducing you can strike maps now in this pub, so it's actually gonna be the first ever season where players can actually choose maps they want to play and ban certain maps they don't want to play. So that's also going to help out Velocity a ton, depending on their maps, because they can easily take or Ascent to a map they don't like if they don't ban it, and Velocity can secure a map they love playing on.
Yeah, that's going to be a big issue as well. Like, seeding historically hasn't had a huge impact on ESEA invite playoffs, like until you get to like the grand finals where it's like the higher seed is a big advantage, but usually throughout those early matches it's not wasn't a big deal if you were a higher seed. But now it's kind of like, you know, that getting second instead of third matters a lot more than it used to. I'm pretty sure it used to literally not matter at all if you got second or third in ESEA, but or at least like going into playoffs. So now that there's this kind of map pick and ban, I think it's gonna be more interesting. I really like the pick and ban decision that's been made to include that. You've already talked a bit about this map Gullywash, how you think they're gonna play it, and you also mentioned Velocity wanting to pick some of their better maps. I don't know if you know the team well enough, but what would you say their better maps are? Because it can be kind of tough to know this kind of things, but you've played against this team quite a lot in the past couple seasons and this season as well. So what do you think about that?
5 CPs is definitely the strong point. They have they have a play style where it's kind of they're very I feel like they're hesitant to do a lot of certain things where like it looks like they could like destroy a team, but that's actually just them playing. Like I feel like they make the other team play into their hand a lot. So like they can force other teams to do different things. I can speak on that from last season in Granary Week. We were pushing, thinking we were like having a good push, but actually we were just playing in how we want or how Velocity wanted us to play. I think on Granary, yeah, I remember now. So I feel like Velocity is just gonna try and slow the game down and make Swift play their game. That's what they're best at, slowing the game down. They're really good at. They're really coordinated. They're like very. I don't know how to describe. They're just super organized, and as long as they can like keep the pressure off of them from Swift, from Marmaduke and like Slemnish and High Five, I'm sure they should be able to take this map.
Yeah. So just to look at the standings right now, it's 7-2 is Swift's current scoreline, and Velocity's 6-3. So Velocity lost to Feint, obviously, and then they won kind of back-to-back situation there. They lost to Froyotech 5-1, and they lost to Swift earlier on. That was on Metalworks. Week 2, it was a 4-2 game. It was a close one. So I'm hoping we have another close one tonight, but obviously that 4-2 is going to be somewhat of a predictor for tonight. Yeah. Swift, they lost to Froyotech 4-2 on products, but then they also got a default loss to Ascent, and I'm actually really upset that that default loss happened, because I feel like Ascent, especially like it was week 1 Ascent. Week 1 Ascent versus SVIFT would have been a really interesting match to see.
Yeah. Kind of been awesome to see, because I was also pre-Showstopper Ascent, so it would have been awesome to see how they played with or without Show this season, and how they would, because when they eventually meet again, how Swift can handle them again. So like if Ascent were to beat them, and like if now that Showstopper's on surface, Ascent can actually live up to beating Swift again. So hopefully when they meet again in the seeding, I know this is week 6, and I think I don't know when they face again. I'd probably say week 7 or 8 they're gonna play again. That'll be an awesome match to cast. So hopefully around that time in a couple weeks we're able to see how Ascent can play versus some of the higher invite teams, because I think the only real serious match Ascent played so far with Show was with Froyo on Granary. I think that was the only like super high level match that to my recent memory, and Feint versus Feint as well. Those are the only 2 matches, but I don't really consider Vidoc like the best showing of a map to like demonstrate like how like more coordinated team plays, because generally Vidoc can come down to like sheer DM at points like that. So I'm hoping like on a nice 5 CP map we're able to see some nice new coordination with Showstopper.
Yeah, I agree 100%. They did play Velocity on Metalworks. That was week 2. Was that pre-Showstopper?
Yeah, I think I'm trying to remember what week Showstopper came in. Let me actually look it up real quick.
Yeah, they played Froyo week 3, so they definitely had Showstopper for that one. But I think they are. I mean, it's hard to say because we didn't really see them much first week. But
I'm looking. So they had Showstopper week 3, game 2 against. They actually lost without Showstopper. They lost with Rando on Metalworks to Velocity. So, hopefully Ascent was able to bounce back versus Velocity because again, I don't think they've played again yet. So hopefully maybe with Showstopper they're able to squeak out a win versus them. But if Ascent loses to Velocity again, that's going to be very, very bad. And also like that's some pretty big playoff prediction of what could happen if Velocity can keep up that consistency.
Yeah, I think. Well, excluding Ascent, I think Ascent's kind of the wild card. If you're like a betting man, you're betting on ESEA Invite playoffs. I think Ascent's sort of the wild card, but I think other than Ascent, it kind of goes Froyo, Swift, and Velocity, and that could get shaken up. Obviously, we'll see tonight. It'll be a good indicator, but that's sort of the ranking in my mind. So if Velocity were able to take down Ascent, then, I mean, if you're following the pecking order, then SVIFT should also have no problem with Ascent. So little worrying if you're the boys in blue.
Yeah, again, honestly, they do have Course on speed dial. He's been pugging more and more recently, so if they need to, they can always bring out the wild card. Corsa can always come out of retirement, grace the game one last time, and save TF2. But no one really knows. I doubt he's going to come back, though. Maybe they're probably just going to roll with Showstopper. I'm sure Ascent will still probably get second if they actually are as dedicated as they seem to be. It seems like they're scrimming more and more. So hopefully they're able to come back and maybe we can get some good matches out of them.
All right, well, that's good because I was a little worried for them, honestly, just seeing their past results. So if they were able to pick it up a notch, that would be certainly good for their playoff chances. They're currently sitting in 4th seed, I believe. No, maybe they're ahead of Velocity, actually. But regardless, again, seeding doesn't mean a whole lot in terms of who's the best, who's the worst. It does, like, give you a general idea usually, but...
Yeah, I mean, again, what's it called? I think Froyo is still probably, especially with how Invite's looking like right now, and from results, I feel like Froyo is probably still ahead above everyone. Just because, one, it seems like they're more dedicated than everyone. It seems like they're still trying harder than everyone. Besides Velocity, I still think Velocity is probably the hardest trying team in this Invite season. They're always scrimming, map reviewing 5 days a week. All the time they're practicing when it's scrim week. So before that, it's just like when you put like Froyo and like Velocity on paper, how they both practice so much. Everyone on Froyo just has eons more experience and just more knowledge about the game. So Velocity isn't really able to keep up with that. When it comes to like DM and decision making, everyone on Froyo has them pretty much better. They're all just better. But against like the other teams, like Ascent, like how they haven't been practicing as much. So I know Swift doesn't practice as much as other teams. I think they don't scrim 5 days a week. I just really hope that Velocity can make a couple more upsets and maybe pull up a 3rd or 4th, 2nd seed.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know that Velocity was so hardcore about their scrimming and stuff. So that gives me hope that they could put up a really good match and they have a good shot at winning this one up against Swift. We'll see. Swift have another one after this. How do you feel about playing 2 matches in one night? Do you think that adrenaline is going to carry over? Or is
burnout.
That bad?
Burnout. Immense burnout. Like scrimming this high level of TF2, like if you play Froyo Tech, let's say you pregame them at 10 and you're getting slaughtered back and forth, like you're gonna use a lot of your momentum, all your adrenaline focusing on that scrim to try and beat Froyo Tech and do good in your scrim. Then you play a match at 11 and then you have to play another one after that. You're playing upwards 3 to 4 hours of like high level TF2. Like Swift is facing high level teams, and depending on the pregame that they played, if it was Ascent or whatever, they're constantly scrimming other top invite teams. Like I could hopefully see, you're probably going to see some burnout. Hopefully not, though. Swift has a whole bunch of cool-ass dudes on it, so hopefully they're able to pull through this long night at TF2. And Swift can pull at least one win today. I think they're going to take, if any match, I feel like they're going to take, obviously, the Velocity match. But again, I feel like Gully is one of the other better maps for upsets. So hopefully we could see some cheese coming out of Swift with some soldier bombs and stuff like that, some good aggression on the both Froyo and Velocity. Maybe they can go 2-0 tonight.
That would be pretty amazing if they were able to take down both teams. A huge night for them, for the org in general. Tonight, obviously, we're a little whiles into the Pyro update. I don't think people are fully adjusted, adapted to it, but there have been changes made to the game, and they've obviously been mitigated somewhat with the whitelist. They're going to ban everything that's controversial this season and then look at it for review before next season. So with regards to the weapons that are still allowed, are there any big changes in the meta since the update?
The only weapon to my knowledge that actually makes big impact is the pocket pistol. That weapon is actually just disgustingly broken. It makes no sense. All it does is buff Scout. So obviously, I don't think Valve takes under consideration that Scout is their most impactful class and their best class in the game, and it just leaves, literally just leaves Scout even better. So I don't know if you remember, it was Feint versus Ascent Viaduct weekend. I think I was casting it too. Boar runs into the other team's spawn and actually 2 clips Nursey and was able to go from 5 HP to 40 HP from the pocket pistol regen and actually drop Nursey, which I think is the biggest gimmick I think I've ever seen in this game so far. That's actually not banned yet on the best class in the game already, convincingly. There shouldn't be a pistol that gives the Scout more HP and able to live longer. We're actually going live here, so enough about whitelist speak. We're playing ESEA Season 26, Week 6. Swift versus Velocity here, going on the first win. I'm getting eyes on Delpo. I mean, if you're not on Delpo, this is a big mistake. So hopefully Delpo's able to do some good aggression, get a lot of early damage out of Jarrett. Hopefully take a really good side of this mid and do what Delpo does best.
He's going to be racing Jared as they try to get this mid. We'll see which side Demoman wants to head. It looks like Delpo is going to be going over to choke. Jarrett the exact same thing, but Delpo is a bit faster, so that might help him a little bit as this mid fight gets started. Marmalou and Garbuglio are both going to meet each other down below. Marmalou taking a bit too much damage. Kryptonite thrown up in the air, almost eats an air shot, but he doesn't. Up through the drop down, Garbuglio does get spotted, taken out. So one early is going to go down on the side of Swift. Without that soldier, they might just choose to back off. Nobody's really in an aggressive position, and now Velocity are pushing forward across the point. It's going to be a pretty passive mid from Swift, and Velocity are going to take it.
Really good job from Marmalou, conserving his HP really well and able to live. He was actually super low the entire mid after getting the trade with, or getting the kill on Garbuglio, and he was still able with 100 HP to make some space and force Swift out at the last second. But we're gonna have a little stalemate here, the Gully Wash special. So hopefully, we're probably gonna see Marmalou sack here, or they're probably gonna send Knuckles behind, whatever works best for them. So pretty much just gonna wait for big Knuckles here. Does get killed by Slemdish, so probably gonna wait for the counter attack from Garbuglio.
Yeah, Garbuglio's pretty far back, so it looks like it's going to be Marmaduke Grills. He went down through the drop down. Here he comes with the bomb. Really not getting what he wants to. Shamu takes him down. Not a successful bomb by him.
Yeah, got spot out really ugly, or spot out really early by Shamu. Able to just instantly kill him as soon as he jumped up. Marmaduke could do nothing there. But yeah, we got some Marm on Marm action, and we also have a sniper here coming in from Knuckles here. So he's actually going to try and wide peek big door. No player knows he's on sniper yet. Slum just get taken down. That's a nice pick from Knuckles here. They're going to try and work this big door. Shamu and then Kryptonite starting to slowly walk through. Delpo doesn't have thickies up yet. Kryptonite going to jump up top, get a nice rocket on the throw floor, but is going to die. Garbuglio is also extremely unhealthy, but they're going to back up. Nice shot onto Marmaduke. Shamu wants that kill, but he's super weak himself. Knuckles might get killed here by Delpo. High five going to easily squeeze out of there with 11 HP left. 2 players and Shamu, unfortunate death there. I don't know what he was trying to do there. Delpo just absolutely just destroyed him. But Swift all trying to come through the same entrance, but they weren't looking at choke, and Garbuglio was able to jump in, get a lot of damage on the Marmalou. Garbuglio chased down, then we'll come on with the escape plan. Neither pocket was going to hit each other. Romer was going to hit each other with the axe there, and Swift's having a really nice repush there.
Yeah, some good pipes from Delpo, but ultimately I thought Velocity should have been backing off much earlier than they did. They lost too many players. Like, they had the one player bomb in, then they had a scout who got caught out, and then their sniper was caught out, then their other scout had a pipe, so it was really just a lot of we should have left earlier, and that snowballed into more and more damage onto their team. Now they're sitting back on their second. It is still 100% Uber charge from both medics. I don't believe anybody has popped yet, so we're still waiting for the first exchange to come down in this match.
Yeah, the Ubers are ripe to be popped. No one's used yet for the past like 5 minutes. So hopefully someone can get forced here sometime soon. Slumnish actually dying at the other team's water, able to get behind, brought 2 players back at their last, which might. I was thinking Swift was gonna try and push there, while Nuck and Marmaloo were all the way back at their last, but looks like they're trying to opt just to play it safe here. Slumnish probably gonna come up on Sniper's spy to try and see if we can make a pick happen.
No, doesn't look like he is. I would have expected an off class as well, but it seems like he's decided against it. So that is kind of a weird play. They didn't do much off of that sack, but regardless, I guess it wasn't really a sack. He just kind of got in behind. Marmaloo, however, is going up on an off class. He's on spy, and he's in on the enemy team's middle. Now, they don't expect this at all. He's coming right up behind the medic. He has decloak. 4-4's not turning around at all. He just needs to run forward, but he
needs to stab. But they force anyway.
Okay. It's that force just barely, despite flipping the stab. Drop would have been nicer, but they're going to try to do their best as they've thrown Marmaduke Grills in. He's going to go up top, and he's going to get behind. High Five's back there as well, so now Velocity are sort of sandwiched. They got 2 players in behind them they have to deal with. Kryptonite finds one of the Marmaduke Grills, and High Five does not look long for this world. There he goes. Good play by the pocket. Takes down both flanking players.
Yeah, that was really good play there from, I don't know if you saw that force happen, but I think it was Knuckles hit him with the Christmas ornament ball thing. I forgot what it's called. And actually makes him bleed a little bit, and then Marmaloo was able to get the revolver on him. And I'm convinced that that's what made 4-4 pop Uber there. But Velocity's just going to simply walk in and start taking the other team's big door. And I'll probably get a free second point, as long as they don't die to the High Five sniper and force. But actually, Kryptonite getting a really nice bomb onto 4-4, but super low HP, doesn't commit to it. Delpo, and 2 great hits from Delpo, hitting 2 fat pipes. This is a really good time for to try and force out the Uber here. While Marmaloo is super low as well. Delpo is bleeding from the Rap Assassin, that's what it's called. The Uber does get popped off from Bear here. While High Five is in lobby, the Uber is ending in lobby here from Velocity here, so it looks like they're going to Swift might retreat back to the last, but again, 4-4 still does have Uber in lobby. They're also going to cut off Marmaloo, who is going to die. Knuckles is coming back in. He could have lived, but he decided to come back in and try and force the Uber. Shamu as well, also trying to go back. Oh, Shamu actually on spy, didn't even notice. Oh, Delpo cheater pipes, oh man. Delpo is just insane right now. Actually just got so many kills for his team. After he just cheater piped Shamu, they're going to just walk back in this second with their full ad.
Delpo's pipes have been insane tonight already. I mean, the match just got started, but he's been hitting some fat ones. Now, they're trying to push into this middle point. Bear's at 60%, so they've got a little bit of time to work with. They can kind of move their way in. They're probably not going to get second off this advantage unless they pop forward, get a whole bunch of frags or something. But looks like Marmaloo's going to jump forward, and they do finally kill Delpo. They lose Kryptonite and Marmaloo for it, but without that Demo Man on the field, it is going to be a little bit better for them. It seems they're choosing to back off. Losing 2 players was too much for them. They're not going to get the force.
Yeah, I mean, no force happened, though, but they do have no jumpers on the side of Velocity, so this is going to opt Swift to come in here and push, as they cannot get bomb right now unless Jared wants to go on some suicide mission. But Garbuglio, they don't notice the traps on top of the point there. I really hope no one walks up top like the medic trying to get to the high ground. Knuckles does get the kill on the Slumnish. Nothing really happened besides that one trade kill. Marmaduke is going to fall though. Kryptonite very low on HP. The Ubers are going to get traded off. Slightly better in favor of Swift, but they don't have the player right now. Looks like High Five might get caught out here at the end of the tail end of the super, but he is going to live. But Delpo and Garbuglio going to just slaughter every single chasing player through that choke point. And now they have no players on the side of Velocity trying to hold this. They are just probably going to concede and give it back to them. Pretty much just Jarrett going to try and, actually hit a really nice air speed on Garbuglio there, but Velocity does not have the position to try and fight this. They are just going to back right out.
It looked like a really good flank from Velocity, but in the end, I mean, they tried to flank. They didn't have enough HP, and they ended up just getting slaughtered. We saw like 3 kills go down on the kill feed, so with all of them dying, it seems like they're back on their last point, and they have Uber disadvantage. Knuckles is up on Sniper. He's hitting or he's trying to take some shots. Last time he played this class, it was pretty successful for him, but sitting back on last, your opportunities are a little more limited. He's basically just gonna kind of sit back by his spawn, seeing if he can get ahead before the Uber pop comes in. Now, Bear's gonna have Uber charge when 4-4 comes in. He's just getting 100 now, so it is even Ubers. It doesn't look like we're going to pop off that aggression. Now, here comes Garbuglio, and hits a really nice rocket on Shamu. Tries to get it on the medic, but doesn't get any damage down. Garbuglio is going to end up falling. Marmalou as well, though, did die to Slemish over on the flank. He's still alive down in water, but a lot of players are in there chasing him. Finally, Kryptonite gets him, but now the medic and soldier are in. Marmaduke Grills is forward, and Bears have to pop the overcharge. It's much later from 4-4, and it's going to be a lot better, too. Now they've got Marmaduke Grills on the point, and Sandblast are pausing.
Yeah, unfortunately here, probably just something maybe like Marmalou line decks. I heard he's been having some connection issues to the last server, maybe this server, so maybe that's what they're paused for. So we're in for a treat here, boys. But anyway, here this is probably a round for Swift. If I had to guess it, that's why they're pausing anyway, because the round ended. But actually, I'm pausing right now, and like I think Swift should be able just to clean this up, or Shamu is going to be able to get a kill onto Marmaduke Girls, and they're actually holding on to this, but Delpo getting 3 kills pretty much. Delpo, and now it's all up to it's all up to Knuckles. He is going to fall. Delpo pretty much getting 3 kills for his team, flanking under the point, trapping himself off and owning that.
Stop this man. His pipes are incredible this game. We're not even 10 minutes from the match, and he's hit like probably 10 crazy pipes. Wow, he's going pretty hard. He's going to be rolling out in the middle. Still looks like him and Jarrett both going to be going choke. Again, both. Jarrett's a little bit slower once again. We'll see how Swift do this mid. A big bomb from Marmaduke Grills, and man, his big door is going to back off. Garbuglio's coming up the drop down. It looks like he hasn't been spotted. Gets the frag on a knock. Great job by him, but Marmalou on the other side, not so lucky. Kryptonite got Garbuglio, and there goes Bear. Does die to high five, pushing forward. It looks like a collapse of Velocity eSports. It's just Kryptonite still fighting here on the point, and look at that Delpo pipe.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much perfect play. Garbuglio jumped in, took like 3 eyes off of the entire combo from Swift. Delpo walked across point with his scouts and pretty much just deleted everyone on Velocity. It's all up to Knuckles and Camper trying to get the God pick. Marmalou is on the Engineer, so hopefully you can see maybe get an early force out from the boys from Velocity. But again, this is they're in a pretty bad situation right now. Full ad. This event actually have a double off class here, or actually, yeah, the 2 off class. Knuckles is gonna opt to play Pyro here, so. Hopefully these Pyro changes are for the better. I actually don't think the Pyro Air Blast, now that it's changed a little bit, I don't think it's going to be... I think it's a lot easier to kill Pyro. They are just going to Uber in here. Oh my, okay. So I've just pretty much just destroyed Knuckles there with 404. The Uber is going to try and end towards the point here. Delpo getting a nice pipe on the Jarrett. Marmaduke and Slemish to clean up the frags and get the cleanup. And again, all the frags going in favor of Swift, and that's again just another round.
That's exactly what you gotta do when you pop an Ubercharge and the entire enemy team's hiding in spawn. Play the point, then they have to come out. Velocity did a good job coming out, but then you saw where Swift were just able to completely collapse on them. They all, and they got all those frags. This is where the pause happened. It was right after that second round, and it was a bad round for Velocity, so I'd imagine that was probably a strategic pause. I didn't see anybody having connection issues dropping. Garbuglio going down the first one this mid. It's a lot of early frags going down. 5-on-5 at the moment. Still some fighting over on this middle point, but Swift seems to have conceded high ground. Now they're coming back up with their scouts running across the point. Marmaduke Grills, big bomb, gets Bear. They're getting clean up frags now. Kryptonite's not along for this world. Shamu taken down by high five. And very quickly, Swift turned that around, win that mid.
Yeah, a lot of that came down to like DM. A lot of the scouts from Swift were able to pretty much get a lot of the cleanup kills. High five winning 2 1v1s from low health players, able to pretty much secure the win for them. And again, full out in favor of Swift here. Knuckles is going to start building a level 3. So we need to see a nice last hold here coming out from the boys over at coming out from Velocity. They need to figure out something to not lose this push right now.
Yeah, it is 100% on 4-4, 33 from Bear, so he's got a long ways to go. I don't think Swift are going to let him get that. They're just buffing up their players and ready to push, so they'd like to spam out the sentry gun before if they can. They're doing a good job putting a lot of spam into it. Finally does go down, Garbuglio gets it, so back going down before the pop is a big deal. He's trying to build it back up, but here comes the pop already. It's a level 1 gun, goes down immediately. They're forcing everybody in spawn, and Jared almost gets caught out. He manages to hit his vine fast enough. Kryptonite bombs the combo. It's going to trade with Marmaduke Grills, but there's so many players on the point. It's going to be tough for them to get onto it, and they just can't do it. 3-0 in a very fast first half of Swift Gaming.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I took a little peek at the stats here. Delpo is going 16-3 with a 360 DDM. So, the Delpo factor, man, they needed to figure out how to shut out Delpo. He is the only player in the entire server with over 10 kills and over 15 kills. So, like, they just need to figure out how to kill Delpo. He's only died 3 times. Everyone on Velocity, besides, like, Kryptonite, looks like they're struggling a little bit to try and find their footing and like able to like post up against like the amount of pressure coming out from Swift here. And Delpo, man, pretty much just shredding it through everyone on velocity right now.
This man is dirty. These stats, I mean, it is really tough to be a velocity player when that guy's on the enemy team. I mean, there were a lot of really fast rounds in that half, specifically the last two, where it kind of just felt like velocity lost the mid, and then after that there was nothing they could do because they lost the mid so hard. It went so fast. What do you think about that? How can they fix their mids so they don't get completely rolled back every single time?
I mean, there's really no way you can fix it. Gully Wash is pretty specific on how it plays. Like if you can get wiped on mid, and this pretty much goes for any map, but it's a lot harder on Gully to refight after getting wiped, or like refight if your medic dies, but like a couple of your players live. It's extremely hard to try and get your footing back on this map. This is a really grueling last to hold. It's pretty hard to hold in my opinion with a full disad. A lot of your explosive classes reign superior on the other team, especially bombing will Uber. The point gets trapped. Then you have to drop down to the low ground. It's kind of similar like Badlands, where like if the other team has the entire point control, which they are, or like high ground control, which they probably are, we're going to be ending with the Uber. All of them have to drop down to the point while Delpo has it sticky. It's not like any other map where you can kind of like edge the point, like a Process or a Sunshine, where you can edge the point little by little and stop the team from capping. With this, you actually have to commit and drop down and actually stand on the point. You can't like splash them off the rockets. You can, but it's extremely hard. It's not going to be as easy as other maps. That's why I think Velocity is really messing up on their last holds. Have been pretty bad. They need to figure out a way to beef them up, maybe more off classes, maybe better positioning post Uber, maybe put Jared in water more often. Watching traps, maybe you can sneak in a free kill, make it a 5v6. They need to figure out something because everything that Velocity is doing has been pretty much getting countered right now.
You know, sometimes we look at a halftime and they just go by so fast. Like we try to talk about stats or strategy and it doesn't matter because the players play immediately. It's not really that case. I mean, it hasn't been too long yet, but it seems like Velocity are taking some time to either clear their heads or talk about the half that just happened. And I think that's a good thing. I think we're going to see here if they're going to be able to adapt and if they can work together as a team to come up with some sort of a better strategy. Because as you said, it hasn't been working. As I've said that, though, we're going live. It's the second half of ESEA Invite Season 26, Velocity eSports taking on Swift NA. And man, Sandblast, it has been a brutal first half for Velocity.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Delpo shredding through everyone in this path with Slumnish and High Five to back him up, and the amazing soldier combo of Marmaduke and Garbuga. But anyway, back on the mid here, Delpo going to do a lot of early damage to Shamu. The combo is having a lot of trouble getting up. Marmaduke going to do some good damage and actually just now gets chipped down, but awful trade. Knuckles getting piped by Delpo and High Five getting a kill on the Jared. Marmaduke going to try and find 4-4, but that's it. Knuckles just tried to like walk forward more, like under the point to like pressure Delpo, but kind of just got destroyed. He got the quick pipe and a scout for a soldier on this map. It's a decent trade because soldiers are really good for bombing, but scouts are just so powerful you can't afford to lose them.
Yeah, and I mean that mid was mostly just some big bomb. Like the Marmaduke Grills bomb did a lot of damage early on, and of course Delpo hit more pipes, so that's gonna kind of happen. And Velocity, they're just repeating the same old story. They've got a Pyro up right now. He's sitting in spawn, gonna change off that class. So it looks like they're going with less off classes. You were talking about kind of beefing those up. They're going with the opposite route this time. They do have 100% Uber advantage. That might be the difference here. We'll see. It is going to be Garbuglio bombing in, trying to get a force off, but gets pretty destroyed. Kryptonite gets the frag onto him. Now Nuck's going to be going up, and he's finding Delpo in lobby, but loses the 1v1. Delpo gets the frag on the scout. Unexpected.
So like, imagine if Slumdish like hadn't died there, like, or like if Garbuglio spawned here, Knuckles was still down. Like, if Slumdish hadn't died there, they could have pushed off that like a 65 into their last. They really wanted to, but like, I feel like Velocity took a pretty big risk there, especially with Slumdish behind. But he was pretty much contained. But Knuckles there taking that fight, I don't know. That was a little scary. I don't really like that, just because that could really take a turn for the worse.
Now Slumnish is up on Sniper. That's their answer to try to break this off class. Marmaloo is up on Spy to counter this decision. I saw him checking classes and off classes, so they definitely know there's a sniper on the field. Slumnish currently over in River. They are spamming it, so they might suspect he's there, but they're gonna hit him some rockets. He's not having a great time trying to peek that. Marmalou is still trying to work his way in, but he's got a little ways to go. Hits a nice shot on a Nuck. Nuck was really far aggressive, but still managed to get that one. Oh, another on a Kryptonite. He's going to get super aggressive. He's going over SMG. Now we see Garbuglio bombing in and finally gets the force off on Bear. Beautifully done. The spy went down in the midst of that. Marmalou didn't get anything. High five took him down. So great job by Swift.
Slemnish, man, opening up the map for his team, getting 2 crazy nice headshots. He also might find the one on Bear here as well. He is going to have to fall back because he does get hit by the Rap Assassin. And going to have to just come back in, but I don't think it matters because everyone from Swift is going on the point. Slemnish, the man of the hour, just 2 quick headshots. Killing Nuck and then pretty much getting Kryptonite dead as well. Getting the big jump in from Garbuglio and Marmalou dying on Spy.
I feel so bad for Velocity this match. I mean, what can you even do when players on an enemy team are just hitting shots and pipes like these? They've got to do something because they're down 5 or 4-0 and one more in the game will end. So Swift are getting much more aggressive this mid. They did lose a player early, Garbuglio going down. They didn't really get much for that. They're fighting underneath. Kryptonite might be taking that 1v1. Jarrett thrown up into the air, but is still being healed. Nobody's died since that first one. Marmalou's jumping in, does change that, ends up going down, pipe down. Kryptonite again bombing forward, and it looks like Swift are backing off in this. Delpo's in a lot of trouble over in choke and does get taken out by the stickies of Jarrett, so rest of Swift were able to back off. 4-4 lived, but finally it seems Velocity might have found their footing.
They may have found it a little too late here. 4-0 though in favor of Swift, but that's a good start though. Only about 5 minutes into the second half. I've seen miracles happen before. I've seen them happen. So hopefully Velocity can make something happen here. Maybe get a nice little pick.
That's what they're going for, it seems, as they've got some time to work with. 25 minutes isn't a ton of time, but it's certainly doable. It's you're not going to be rushing all the time. We'll see how fast these next few rounds can go. Sniper v Sniper battle is going to be coming up. Nuck taking on a high 5, going to be looking for each other. Nuck is the aggressor, and he's down in main. He takes a shot, hits the body shot on a Garbuglio. Going to do some damage, but not enough to kill him. Now they know that there's this sniper threat if they didn't already know, so they're going to be looking back and forth, and it might take a little while before Velocity can push.
So Knuckles is trying to get his way in. He's probably going to go for that crazy shot on top of the pipe here. He's waiting for the perfect opportunity to go in on the pipe. He's going to try and get into the angle now. Going to find Slemnish. Only hits him for 50 damage though. Headshot still, but that could be something to sack on. But I don't think anyone was in position. Marmaduke almost dying to Jared's spam there, down to 80 health, but manages to just squeak out. Slemnish, or High 5 rather, looking to try and get a shot in through River. While Knuckles is looking lower main right, or actually through the balcony. He might die here to Delpo, which he is, yeah. And Shamu is opting to fall back to lobby a little bit, while Marmaduke is going to get right on to their team here. And River going to try and find Kryptonite. Doesn't get the kill though. Marmalou in their sewer or wood watching the flank here. No one's going to push to try and flank there.
And props to Nuck for trying something like that. It was a tough shot, but he went for it anyways. Didn't quite hit it, but that's okay. He's back up on Sniper, going to try it again. And of course that counter-attack from Marmaduke is not very effective. So they're going to be spamming back and forth until the Sniper can get back in the front lines. Nuck looking through this main again. He's looking for the enemy Sniper or something. He finds the Sniper, but wrong end of the bullet. Slemnish takes him down to the head, so Swift once again have an opportunity. We'll see what they do. Garbuglio looks to be getting a little aggressive, but Velocity is so far back, it's going to be tough to bomb in on them.
Yeah, that's what they want to do. They're going to just hold back, cover all the entrances. Jared has stickies on both the doors, watching lobby. Knuckles is respawning back on Scout. Had enough of getting shot in the head by Slemnish. Delpo going to actually deck blindly on the Marmalou. So, Swift is looking to try to walk forward here back at their second. Gonna try and retake over here. I-5 is pretty deep up here. Gonna take some good damage from Kryptonite, doing a lot of damage, keeping the players out from Velocity. But Slemnish gonna hit a nice headshot onto Shamu, I believe that was. And he is just gonna keep posted up in River. I believe that's Marmaduke getting super aggressive onto the medic, but not really gonna hit him for anything. Not a lot of buff set for Velocity though. Everyone's pretty much unbuffed right now, so I don't think they're gonna hesitate to push on anything. But I feel like they're gonna just relax, get healthy, and sack another player.
Yeah, they have that one-man ad with Marmaduke going down, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be what it is. Kryptonite went for that bomb. Good effort, but Delpo got him with those stickies. There's another player on point, Nuck. It looked like that was a coordinated play, but so well shut down by Swift. Particularly the soldier and the scout who was a little bit late. They just turned around and shot him with all their guns. So 2 down. This is certainly pushable from Swift. They just need to get forward and get some ground off this. They've lost their sniper, chooses to go back to a scout, and Bear pops the Uber charge off. It's going to be a solo Uber onto Shamu. Marmalou might get caught up on it, though. He is going to, and that's not going to be good for their Uber. It's going to be a little worse now as they're trying to take down Swift in this upper area. Both have faded, and it seems like Swift are getting a little bit better, and Kryptonite falls to his death, and it seems like they're just going to be trying to play these heals. Slemnish goes down 5-on-5, Marmaduke as well. This could be turning around. Velocity doing a great job playing this damage, and it looks like they're going to force Swift back on their last.
Yeah, a lot of players tried going through the same entrance on SVIFT, so they all pretty much got caught in the same damage, but Delpo had a really nice trap, was able to catch out Jared, and that's going to definitely slow down the pressure from Velocity.
Marmalou's going to end up dying to high 5. I was waiting to see if he was going to get taken down. So with him dying, that's going to be tough for Velocity. Swift once again have this one-man ad, and they can kind of work with this. It seems like they're going to get second off of it even. Most of Velocity have backed off very far, and they lose Jarrett. Not having your demo man is a big deal because Marmaduke Girl's getting that frag. There's not going to be any stickies anywhere, so Sandblast, this is tough. Velocity are still sitting on their middle, though.
Yeah, Jarrett didn't really have any shutter. This is going to be an exchange coming from both teams here. Kryptonite trying to get some damage on the Delpo. I don't think Swift wants to full commit with this either. Marmaduke is going to back up to safety. Delpo trapping up the exit. Shambu going to find a kill on the flank there. Kryptonite as well going to try and find a kill. But everyone's going to reset here. That's going to be pretty much Swift's counter stack, essentially.
Yeah, nice job by Shamu to be able to read that flank from high 5 and take him down before he could do any real damage. That could have been scary, but everything's fine. Nuck has worked his way into lower lobby. He's still kind of jumping around. Marmalou over and Choke isn't doing anything, so he could. There's nobody really on that. And they pop off a banner, and they're going to be sandwiching in Swift, and this medic's very low. Wolfer gets taken out by Nuck. I like this banner use a lot. They got Delpo as well. Kryptonite's chasing Marmaduke Girls in the middle. They're still fighting all over a second. They are going to lose a couple players. Now this is kind of turning around for them, but they get the frags. Everybody's down. A really good use of the banner.
Yeah, that was a Marmalou's specialty, the banner. He loves using that thing from time to time. This is going to be a pretty free round for Velocity, so well, good job from them. Able to pick the first round for the second half for them. So hopefully, this is an up-and-coming comeback here. You can see some Velocity players on the board with some more rounds here.
Yeah, the banners have kind of been a European-centered strat, so cool to see it switching over to North America and being pretty effective, at least in this usage. Garbuglio now underneath the point is going to be going aggressive, but Nuck's running underneath that point. Slemish on top of him is going to be doing some damage. Looks like Nuck's going to lose that 1v1, and Bear's in a tough spot. Wisely over there. Looks like all of his team ended up dying and some rockets hit him. The rest of his team is not doing much better. Shamu, the last player alive, should be making it alive unless he loses this 1v1 to high 5. He shouldn't. He had the health advantage going into it, but just going to decide to run away. There were some players there on Swift who didn't want him to stay, so one player surviving. This could be the end of Velocity if they lose this round.
Yeah, that's pretty much the nail in the coffin. Swift has never really messed up one of their last pushes yet with full ad, so I wouldn't see a reason why they're going to mess this one up. So hopefully Velocity can find some footing to keep their match lives in right now. They're down to their last leg. There's no more second chances after this push if Swift wins it. It looks like they are going to try and take this dude right into lower main. Good pyro play coming off from Knuckles. Going to deny the entire Uber, but he is going to finally die. 5v6 now. Shamu is going to try and find a kill. Delta finds the medic somehow. Gets a really nice pipe on him, and all the kills are turning in favor of Swift here. And that's going to be the game. An extremely good play from Delta to find the enemy medic. Oh no. And pretty much just two-pipe him down. Extremely good stuff from Swift tonight, especially Delpo, absolutely destroying the entire team tonight, going 25-5.
Oh my gosh.
In my opinion, one of the better games, probably one of the best performances this season, in my opinion, from any demo so far. Was always a threat, never really died. Like, it's Delpo ran the game, man. Velocity couldn't do anything with Delpo in the server. They were getting caught up on every little thing Delpo was doing. Whenever they tried pushing last, they found Delpo. Like, if they tried just re-pushing, Delpo was there. Every point in the game, because he only died 5 times. Like I said, they needed to find a way to try and shut Delpo down. They need to find a way to keep him as nullified as possible, and they couldn't do it. And that's going to happen. When the other team's demo is like 5 KD with 360 DDM, it's not going to look good for you, though. But unfortunately, I thought the the scouts from Velocity were going to try and, turn it around a little bit. I feel like they were going to be one of the factors that's going to help out a lot more. But Slemnish and High Five also ran the map as well. They were always up as well. They barely died as well. 6 deaths and 7 deaths. The only real player that kind of like performed like pretty well on their team is Kryptonite, only 13 and 15, 330 DDM. But Velocity still played pretty decently. They just had a lot of bad last holds, in my opinion. I feel like that's the reason why they lost. They somehow just couldn't hold their last. So if they were able to try and like fix something with their last holds, they might have been able to squeak out another round or two. But Swift was looking extremely dominant. I don't think anything that Swift could have, that Velocity could have thrown at him would have changed the pace of that match.
All right, so I'm just talking with the Swift guys right now, and it seems like they're going to go live like within the next 15 minutes. So I believe the match page said they weren't going to start till 12, but this match finished very early, so we're just going to go straight into it. I think we can talk a little bit longer about all this. As you said, I mean, the only time my eyes were off Delpo was when Slemnish was doing even better on on Sniper.
Yeah, that was like the only other time my cam was off Delpo and Slemnish off class. Like whenever there was an off class on Swift, I was watching Delpo. Like if it was no off class, I'm on Delpo. If we weren't sacking, I'm on Delpo. Every single thing that Delpo was doing was just it was an entire frag video. It was just amazing to watch. He played fantastic, and hopefully they can keep this game up going into the game against Froyo Tech. Hopefully, defeat the current world champions and the current best North American team, the best everything right now in TF2, and Delpo can reign supreme on Gully Wash. Seems like he had no problem with Velocity. Let's see how we can handle Froyo Tech now.
Yeah, I would be a little worried for the guys in green. I mean, you were talking about how fatigue is going to hurt them, but when a match is that quick, I mean, that's really not as big of a factor. That's just a warm-up. Exactly. Like,
it's just a warm-up.
Oh boy, the real match against Fortech is now going to start, and I don't know if Banny and the boys were watching that match. He's streaming, so somebody can probably tell me, but if they were, they've got to be a little bit shaken up. Of course, they're going to get some info off that, but still, with Delpo and even Slemnish going as hard as they did, they could turn this into a 2-win night, as you were saying, and that would be really, really big for their team, because that has crazy playoff implications. Could they steal first seed? They might.
I don't think Furtech's lost yet, so even if they lost, I still like Swift has 2 losses by default, so Furtech will still permanently hold the first seed if they don't lose again. So either way, Furtech is going to be your first seed players. But anyway, that was an extremely good match from Swift. Pretty much played excellent TF2. I still think the reason why Velocity wasn't able to get it more rounds as they should have was because of their last holds. I wish I knew what was going on there. It seemed like Bear got piped by Delpo on their final last hold. I feel like Knuckles could have tried and lived on Pyro. He did deny most of the Uber, but I feel like getting like a couple puffs out and then switching back if he was able to live there would be the play. But I don't know. I feel like they just all died on last. I mean, there's no other real way around it.
Yeah, it's tough to really put a lot of blame on Velocity when the other team is going so huge. But basically, like, Jared has to hit as many pipes as Delpo is, and whoever their sniper player is, I guess Nuck has to hit as many shots as Slemnish did. So it's a tall order, and certainly no shame to Velocity. It was a 5-1 game, but I still think they can come back the rest of the season. Play some close matches against some of the lower level teams, and hopefully improve for playoffs. But man, that was a rough night for them, and they're gonna have to improve if they want to take down Swift again.
Yeah, but hopefully this upcoming match versus Froyo is gonna be hopefully a little bit closer. But I'm gonna step off for the mic for a little, get some water, and use the bathroom. So hopefully when I come back, we'll be able to get some more TF2 going to you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed the first match of the night. Stay tuned. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. We are going to get Froyo Tech versus Swift on your stream soon. So thank you guys for watching. We're going to take a short break just to get the other players in the server. And yeah, see you guys in a bit.